Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the first ACTI-X webinar. My name is Peter Meyer, and I'm a project manager at ALSEC, one of the many partners within the ACTI-X consortium. I'd like to welcome today's speakers, Claudio Constanza and Quentin Lehmann from our ACTI-X project coordinator, Amadeus. Topic of today is the first introduction and brief overview to the project. Before handing over to Claudio and Quentin, we will be answering your questions at the end of the presentation. Please drop your questions in the chat. Said that, Claudio, Quentin, your stage, your microphone.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter. Hello, everyone. To start, let me quickly walk through today's agenda. So we'll start with a short introduction of the speakers, just to give you some context on who we are and our respective roles in the project. Then we'll move to a presentation of Amadeus and its engineering community to understand the broader environment behind our contribution to ACTI-X. After that, we'll present the consortium and some key figures to give you an overview of the project scope and structure. We'll then focus on the why behind ACTI-X, the challenges we are addressing, before explaining what ACTI-X is and how it's positioned. We'll also go through a few examples of capabilities and modules at high level, just to illustrate the approach. And to close, we'll cover the next steps and how you can engage with the project. And finally, we'll have a Q&A session. Feel free to post your question in the chat or the presentation. So I will start. Hello, everyone. My name is Quentin Lehmann, and I'm the project coordinator for ACTI-X. In this role, I'm responsible for the overall governance and delivery of the project, as well as ensuring alignment across the consortium partners and managing the relationship with the European Commission. My focus is mainly on coordinating the different stakeholders, processes, and approvals within the project. I also contribute to defining and structuring key methodologies, including requirements, risk management, and deliverable lifecycle, while ensuring alignment on the overall strategy. I have around 14 years of experience in project management, working in international environment with a background in both Prince2 and Agile practices. That's the overall quick overview of my role. I'm really glad to have this opportunity to take on this role as a consortium coordinator. I would say it's definitively a real challenge in many aspects. I have to be involved across all areas of the project, trigger a lot of discussion, and continuously push alignment on different topics. It's also it means making sure that everyone has the right tools and the right framework to work comfortably and efficiently together. But despite all of that, I'm very happy to be working with such diverse group of people coming from different backgrounds and all bringing a strong level of expertise. And I would also like to take this opportunity to say that it's a real pleasure to work with you. And thank you for your ongoing support and for the guidance you provide on a daily basis to help me move the project forward in the right directions. Thanks a lot. And now, Claudio, it's up to your presentation.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Claudio Costanza, colleague of Quentin, working for Amadeus. So my role in ACTI-X, I'm acting as cybersecurity expert and providing a strategic guidance vision for the entire project. My daily job is coordinating research innovation activities in Amadeus Global Security Operations Center. And the key contribution in the project is contributing to the global designer architecture, but also provide important insights from the security operations standpoint, because our unit handles security attacks and incidents daily. So it's very important that this experience is reflected in the project design. My background, I have 14 years of experience in IT travel industry, 8 of which in cybersecurity. I'm also CISSP certified. So back to Quentin.
Thank you, Claudio. Yes, before we dive into ACTI-X, I would like to take time to introduce the Amadeus company and our engineering community. And there is quite a lot to cover. First of all, Amadeus is a technology company dedicated to the world's travel industry. We provide advanced technology solutions to support key players across the travel ecosystem and help shape the future of travel. Our activities operate on a truly global scale. In 2025, Amadeus processes more than 485 million bookings, and together with Navitaire, our system boarded more than 2,249 million passengers. The company is also recognized for its sustainability commitment, being included in the Dow Jones Sustainability Index for 13 consecutive years. This slide illustrates the broad ecosystem of customers and partners that Amadeus serves globally. We work with a wide range of actors across the travel industry, including airlines, travel agencies, airports, rail operators, and mobility providers, among others. This diversity reflects the role of Amadeus as a central technology provider across multiple segments of the travel ecosystem. The slide also highlights key strategic partnerships, including our collaboration with Google Cloud, which supports ongoing innovation in areas such as cloud and AI technology applied to the travel industry. This one shows that Amadeus is positioned at the heart of the global travel ecosystem. Travel fulfills our need to explore the world, to see new places, meet new people, and be near to what's important to us. It also powers progress. Travel builds economies, broadens cultures, and creates connection between societies. The travel and tourism industry is dynamic, powerful, and fast-moving, and one of the world's largest business sector. Amadeus' purpose is to make the travel experience better for everyone. Our technology powers the global travel and tourism industry, inspiring more open ways of working and more connected ways of thinking, always with an eye on how the industry can evolve and how our customer can better serve travelers. Our technology unlocks the freedom to realize new ideas. It connects our industry and inspires new opportunities for growth while reducing friction and getting us all where we need to go more easily. Our aim is to help deliver great traveler experience with more information, more choice, and more autonomy. We power progress by connecting ideas, organizations, and technology. We have a unique perspective of travel being at the heart of our industry. By bringing our deep expertise to our customers and partners worldwide, we can solve travel's biggest challenge and scale ideas quickly. Amadeus systems are based on private and public infrastructures with 24/7 availability for our customers worldwide. We are the largest in terms of traffic volume within a single sector, as illustrated by the following facts and figures. First, with scalable technologies built on open systems and service-oriented architecture. In 2024, we processed over 150,000 user transactions per second at peak time in our main data center. Operational excellence focus across the globe. 40 years experience enabling the operation of the travel industry. A true defense in-depth security strategy. After the cloud migration, our consumption will be 600 to 800K vCPU in Azure in Europe, which represent around 20K virtual machines and computers. 1.5 billion lines of code in the main Amadeus software repository. Powerful troubleshooting capabilities relying on exhaustive collection of data from our system that could fill in all books of all libraries of the world in less than a week. All of this is made possible by our robust global operations. We design, own, and operate the world's largest data processing center dedicated to travel. This world-class data center is high performance and high resilience, capable of processing billions of transactions involving sensitive data securely and reliably every day. Our global operations are supported by more than 900 employees from more than 45 nationalities and is based on a follow-the-sun model with specialist support groups in Germany, the US, Australia, India, and the United Kingdom. Now this slide presents the global footprint of Amadeus engineering community. Amadeus has a large and distributed network of engineering teams located across multiple regions, including Europe, North America, Asia Pacific, and Latin America. Overall, this represents more than 10,000 engineers working across a wide range of locations. These global distributions allow us to support a large-scale operations, ensure continuous development, and leverage a wide diversity of expertise across the organization. Our technology powers the global travel and tourism industry, inspiring more open ways of working and more connected ways of thinking. It's a core, it's designed to anticipate how the industry evolves and to help our customers better serve travelers in a rapidly changing world. Travel is in constant evolution, shaped by powerful forces transforming the industry. Two major trends are appearing simultaneously. On one hand, technology is getting faster, driving an acceleration of digitalization and requiring continuous adaptation and vigilance. On the other, travel expectations are rising just as quickly, with growing demand for new, seamless travel experience and increasingly hyper-personalized journeys. So how can Amadeus technology address today's business needs and support the ongoing evolution of travel? We must ensure Amadeus is equipped with the full set of technological capabilities required to meet current demands and to anticipate future ones. We believe technology is the primary driver of this change and the foundation that enables the travel industry to innovate, adapt, and deliver more meaningful experience to travelers worldwide. We power the travel industry at global scales. Most major airlines, airport travel agencies, and hotel chains rely on our technology every day. For example, over 400 airlines use our systems, many of them among the world's largest carriers. Global multi-cloud footprints, 140 landing zones dedicated to production and disaster recovery only. Total 420 plus, including test, R&D, cloud control plane, and integration. A landing zone is a pre-configured, governed, and secure cloud environment where applications and platforms are deployed and operated. We are running 200 Kubernetes clusters, independent running environments, each hosting and operating many applications and services globally. More than 15 cloud regions worldwide, reflecting a truly global multi-cloud footprint. Azure is North Europe, West Europe, France Central, Sweden Central, Germany West Central, US East 2, US West 2, Central India, currently being deployed. Google Cloud is US East 4, defining other GCP regions, and AWS is Europe Central 1, Europe West 1, US East 1 and 2, US West 1 and 2, APAC Southeast 1 and 2. About the scale of the system, the numbers speak for themselves. We processed more than 150,000 transactions per second during peak period, a volume comparable to Google search. These transactions come both from users' activity and from our own internal application workflows. Our platform manages 120 PB of storage capacity across managed disk, 43 PB in databases, and platform as a service environment, and storage accounts. We execute change at extraordinary velocity, 600 production change per day, exceeding 15,000 changes every month. Despite this pace, we deliver outstanding reliability, 99.95 availability for most customer-facing service, up to 99.999 availability for our internal infrastructure. We maintain 20,000 external links across our ecosystem. About the size of the systems and complexity of our architecture, our system is built on one of the industry's largest service-oriented architecture, with 600 plus applications, 10,000 plus microservices running across tens of thousands of machines worldwide. This makes it one of the most extensive distributed architecture in operation today. About our technology landscape, our core stack is primarily C++ and Java, with data platforms including Oracle, Couchbase, and MongoDB. We have developed our own enterprise service bus, ESB, which is the communication model that allows business applications to communicate with each other, and our application framework in-house. The entire system runs on OpenShift. And now I'm finished with the presentation of Amadeus. Now let me give you a quick overview of the consortium and some key figures. The ACTI-X project brings together 7 partners across 8 countries, combining different areas of expertise within the cybersecurity domain. The project is coordinated by Amadeus, based in France. It's officially started in January 2026 for a total duration of 36 months. In terms of overall scales, the project represents a total cost of around 7.7 million euros, with 5 million euros funded by the European Union. On the map, you can also see the geographical distribution of the partners across Europe, illustrating the collaborative and multi-country nature of the initiative. And then I go to the next slide and I leave you the floor, Claudio.
Hello, thank you, Quentin. So the first question we want to answer, why ACTI-X? And is mainly about challenges we are trying to address. As you know, the current geopolitical landscape since few years is quite complicated. And we saw a surge globally of cyber attacks. As you see, we have many articles on the press. Those are cyber attacks are global, but often towards, let's say, critical domains and essential services. So one of the main objectives of ACTI-X is to address those challenges. And even more in this AI era, those cyber attacks are even easier than they were a few years ago. So in ACTI-X, we have 4 different dimensions. These rising threats in which are pushing those critical sectors under pressure. Then second point is that today there are many security tools on the market, but somehow the data is fragmented among those tools. So with ACTI-X, we want to try to bring a coordinated response among all those security tools and controls. Then ACTI-X focus is the transport sector, in which as for piloting a first deployment will be on the airport and travel IT industry. And then fourth point is to have a system, a framework that is scalable and can be deployed across different environments and sectors. Then what is ACTI-X? We have an ecosystem approach. So again, as Quentin saying, it is a cyber security initiative and project in which we, as objective, we will really, during the project, deploy the solutions and the framework in the transport sectors, but also to be sector agnostic. Then be able to connect the different cybersecurity modules and solutions. And a few of them, they are, and they will continue to be open source. And then to have a focus on actionable threat intelligence sharing and enrichment. And here on the right, you can see the cybersecurity modules we will enhance and deploy during ACTI-X project. Then here, very high level HLD. As you can see, we have at the heart of the framework, we have the cyber threat intelligence platform that will be able to ingest external CTI cyber threat intelligence feed. And the platform will communicate with our cybersecurity modules and solutions. As you can see, they are enhanced and developed by ourselves, but also by our partners. And those modules will be able to ingest the CTI feed live, but also to enrich and produce a new CTI feed. So this is a quite new concept, so that the CTI platform will be able to take this new enriched CTI feed in a feedback loop and to produce as a showcase for the project an external CTI feed that will be shown in a cyber threat map to the public. Again, to give you more details, so as you can see with the high-level diagram I showed you, we'll try to reach a dual objective, to have a cyber threat intelligence feed that is shared in real time, internally where the security modules are deployed, but also externally. And on top of these CTI real-time sharing capabilities, the cybersecurity modules will be enhanced with the AI capabilities. So many of them, they already have AI capabilities, but will increase those even more. And then additional points, will leverage, of course, AI and big data aligned with the relevant EU legislations like the EU AI Act. Then the consortium is combining industry leader IT provider as Amadeus, but also specialized SMEs in cybersecurity. And our overall ambition is to empower the European cybersecurity ecosystem to protect our critical infrastructure and essential services. Then I'll show you a draft of the architecture that will be delivered by end of September. So in this architecture, you will see more details, specifically how the modules interact. We choose to take the official CTI protocol, that is the STIX taxi, both for the platform and for the modules. And we are at the stage in which we are deciding the technicalities of how the modules interact with most probably with what we call connectors. And also how the OpenCTI platform will be able to share this homogeneous CTI feed to the external, but also to the cybersecurity modules. Of course, in the design, we are in the early stages, and the entire project team is working on this. And we'll communicate in future webinars on the, let's say, finalized technical design. And I think I can leave the floor to Peter.
Yeah, hello, welcome back. So yeah, now it's the time to ask questions, especially when it comes to the architecture, or especially generally about the project. If there's anything interesting else you saw in the presentation, for example, referring to Amadeus or similar, also let us know. Elsewise, it's just to say we're at the early stage of the project. Right now, we're looking at a couple of interesting use cases, because we're not just building this for our consortium partners. As Claudio mentioned, there is a lot of opportunities we have with such an open platform, with a lot of connectability to other services, tools, platforms, and interaction. And right now, we're looking in organizations that would like to discuss also with us some of potential use cases. So especially from the airport or critical transport infrastructure, but also going wide beyond. So if somebody else has to protect critical infrastructure or generally big infrastructures without being critical, which is usually not the case, we're happy to do a short interview with you to discuss any possible opportunities to connect, but also really learn your experience learn your demands and so on, because we're developing simply for the public. I think one point that we also didn't mention too detailed so far, most of the modules and platforms we are developing are open source. So at some point there will also be an opportunity to test some of the platforms and the platform, but also the modules on your end. So I haven't seen any questions so far. Maybe one question to Claudia from my side. So I think we're working a little bit, we're working with AI. We need to comply with the AI Act and work with critical infrastructure. So the question is simply, so how do you see that perspective, especially at some point that Amadeus might be using it and that we need to comply to the EU AI Act and so on? Because you mentioned you're already using some AI, the partners are using already some AI. What are the challenges?
Yeah, good question. So indeed, we are taking all the requirements from the UAI Act and checking them against our design, architecture design. So we'll implement the correct security controls, the correct data protection layer, so that the entire system is secured by design and say compliant by design with the UAI Act, but also the GDPR and NIS2.
Okay. Then looking at the architecture, oh, there's a question in the chat, so let me quickly ask. We're developing digital products, so Cyber Resilience Act will probably also be an important topic, right? When looking at the regulations. Great. So looking at the architecture as a security expert, what challenges have you seen at this point when it comes to architecture and building such a huge platform?
Yes, it's really trying to, let's say, have a trade-off between the functional needs and the non-functional requirement. That is, we want all the modules to be able to do this kind of processing, to ingest and produce a CTI feed, but we also want that is done really, really fast. So this is, let's say, technical challenges we are trying to tackle. And of course, this is for the CTI part. Instead, for the AI part, it's mainly about explainability. As you know, AI sometimes can be a kind of black box. So we are putting our efforts to really try to deploy AI that can be explained. So why certain decisions are taken by the security modules? This we are trying to have some kind of framework in which when an AI takes some decision, we also know why a certain decision has been taken. So these are the two main challenges, I would say.
Can you also, another question, can you give an example how open source cyber threat intelligence can be expected to support a company like Amadeus with such like infrastructure? That was also going a little bit towards my question, because Quentin already showed a couple of really impressive numbers that Amadeus has to process. And one of the goals we have within ACTI-X is also big data processing. So
I think it's for us as Amadeus, we have a really global footprint processing billions of transactions. The open source cyber threat intelligence is really important to gather all those signals, because sometimes a little security signal that can be captured very far from, let's say, our offices can be really important. For example, a cyber attack that is starting to impact another, let's say, sector can be quickly transposed to the sector in which we are operating. So knowing that in real time, this is a kind of information that is carried by CTI cyber threat intelligence feed is really important. So this is why to basically be aware of everything that is happening in the world in almost real time and be able to process all this data.
Okay, then the last question from my side for today. We have this public open CTI threat map. So what can we expect there? So basically, not we know, but what can people, third-party visitors expect to be seen there?
Yeah, so we would like to display, of course, an anonymized CTI feed, but still that is valuable, in which we will show some cyber attacks in which that we are basically handling every day, and also not only in a pure technical way that could be JSON file format, but also in a nice UI way. So this is why we propose this cyber threat map, in which we can visualize in a geolocalization map from where the attack are originated, the targets, and some other functional information that we can share in a nice way.
Okay. Oh, we got another question. What type of magic do you expect from the AI to deliver?
Yeah, I would say to act and detect threats really fast. This is really the important thing. It's time to detect and time to react. These are metrics that are very common in cybersecurity landscape. So we will be able to reduce those metrics and act really fast. So this is we would rely on AI to do that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So from my side, please stay in touch if you want to stay in touch with ACTI-X, stay informed what's going on in the next month, where we are with the development. We will be hosting regular webinars. Feel free to visit our website, to subscribe and follow us on LinkedIn. If you want to check our code, we also are visitable on GitHub, currently start building up the repository. And also, feel free to subscribe to our newsletters. We'll be sending out them regularly, informing about the next webinars. We already have some planned for the next month and weeks that will go a little more into technical details regarding the different modules. We already have one about authentication, but we will be also talking about phishing and bot detection at some point and other really interesting topics. Most of them quite technical, but we will also continue our webinar forwards to talk about more regulatory topics like the AI Act, how we work with that within ACTI-X, and how we implemented it, other regulations like the CRA. This is also definitely quite interesting how to develop such digital products in that case. But also we'll talk a little bit about regulatory things like digital sovereignty, open source, and benefits, and what else such an open project platform could have an open architecture. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much for attending. If you have any questions after the webinar, please let us know. Just drop us an email, contact@actix.eu. And that's it from my side. Wonderful Rest Friday and a wonderful weekend to everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter.
Bye.
Thank you, Claudio.